Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 86 of the Lion's Den podcast, Getting Jiggy with It. Today, we have a very special program. We have a special guest coming on later today. But first, we're here to talk about big win this weekend against Mazatlan at home, 3-0. Guys, how do we feel today?
Feeling pretty good about that. I told
Yeah.
you, Carlos. I didn't want to call this Holland's team until after this result, and boy, howdy, did they deliver?
Sure did.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And best out of
Uh-oh.
You just muted yourself, Jose.
There you go. Still can't hear you. Technical difficulties. But yeah, I mean, it was a very, very good result for us. It seems like the team's finally clicking. It seems like everything is coming together at a perfect time. First, a 6-0 win, 6-1 win against Kansas City, and now a 3-0 win against Mazatlan. I feel good. I feel good right now. I don't know about you, Louis, but I feel like this team's coming together. Like we're finally starting to mesh, and we don't even have Luis Montes or Fernando Navarro.
Right. I think that's the most promising thing about all of this. People talk a lot about the Chapo dependencia. They don't talk about Navarro in those same terms. But, man, you think about playing with those two guys and how few and far between the good stretches of play have been. And now the team is just far better equipped to deal with those absences. And not to mention, Ormeño hasn't been able to get his footing. He's supposed to come in as our star number 9, and he hasn't really been able to stay on the field due to various molestias. And Davila coming in and playing that number 9 role very well, like better than he ever did at any point last season, when you could argue he was one of our team MVPs. So just lots of promising stuff going around in various positions all around the pitch. And this was the one where, like you said, I think it really, really came together. We were cautious about calling about getting too in over our heads or getting too excited about that 6-1 win against Kansas City, when we wanted to see how this one turned out before saying that this project is a go in earnest. And I think now it really is. I mean,
it's starting to lift off.
Yeah, it wasn't just the win, it was the way they won and how they came out. And really, after maybe 15, 20 shaky minutes at the very beginning of the game, getting used to that muddy, soggy, awful pitch that already claimed the hamstring of Ramiro Gonzalez.
Yeah.
They when in the past they would have normally let that really affect their play in a negative way. Instead, they leaned into it and took over the game in adverse conditions in a way that we haven't really seen. We never really saw from the Ambris version of this team. As good as he was, they were never good in the rain or on a bad pitch. And today they leaned into the adversity and got a result I don't think anybody expected. People expected a much more even. We all expected a much closer game, a much more hard-fought game. Just the way that Mazatlan has been playing, they've looked good.
They have. Yeah. They were second place. They were second place in the standings. We mentioned it last week. So they were coming in pretty good form. Having played some pretty good teams. They played Monterrey, Pachuca, who beat us, 4-0. Everybody knows that. But Jose, quick thoughts. What do you think about this weekend's match?
I mean, I was very surprised. I mean, I know that we won 6-1 against
Kansas City,
but I thought that was kind of like a trap game, because if we go by the results, the last two results from Kansas City, they haven't been very good against Liga MX teams. I think the last two matches they played was against Monterrey, first leg and second leg of CONCACAF Champions League.
Yes, the 2019 CONCA champions.
Yeah, and the first one I think it was like 5-0, and the second one's 5-2. I want to say.
Yes, true. But they did in earlier rounds of that. They did destroy Toluca. Like, they absolutely destroyed Toluca in order to get to that stage with Kansas City. Yeah.
Is that okay?
Go back
Okay,
and check out those games, especially the one they played in Toluca. Like Kansas City came in there and really took control.
Huh.
Wow.
Well,
Yeah.
Then that changes season. But I
Yeah.
don't know. Like I feel like not just then, but I feel at times the way that the reason why I thought it was a trap game is because before this, in previous editions of the League Cup, which is not really, this is probably what, like the second one.
This is just the second one, yes.
So I remember in the last one, there were games that, especially the MLS side, didn't seem to really field their best players, which I think in this case, I think it was más because they didn't want to, but because they were forced to, because they had so many games for Kansas City. But it's still, I didn't expect us to score 6. But anyway, coming into this match, I was kind of like, oh, and then especially when I saw the weather, I was like, oh, like Carlos said in chat, like, oh, not again. Another one. Yeah, I was like, oh, this is gonna be one of those matches like that's probably gonna be like a tactical thing, like I don't know, a corner or something, like header. And all the plays that we had, except maybe most of the plays, I don't think they were de pelota parada. Is that
No.
it was just like straight up. What's it called? Build
Open play. Open play.
Open play, and which is what I love about Mena's goal. This is the first time that I actually seen, like, the last goal that he scored. It was from a PK, right? So this one,
Yes.
I was happy he scored it for an open play, which is like
his only one of the season to this point had been a PK. Yeah.
Exactly. And when he's and when he's scoring for an open play, he's playing good.
Yeah.
Like that's for me, that's an indicator.
Well, especially those.
I'm happy. Yeah.
Especially those man, when he breaks the defenders and he gets one of those little lob goals that he has. I can remember like 3 or 4.
Then
there's 3 or 4 of those that are the cheeky, like, exactly. But he's got that great touch in the lob. He had one against Querétaro last season. He had one against America back in the 12-win season. He had one against Querétaro in like the Apertura 2019, the 4-0 win there. He's those are my favorite. I mean, that's a skill unique to him. Nobody else really has that in their bag of tricks the way that Mena does. And those have been my favorite goals that he's scored.
Yes. Those are, I mean, they're definitely joy to look at. Like that's just beautiful. Just the ball going over the goalkeeper and he has nothing to do. Like that's just great. Like it doesn't get any better than that. You literally just embarrass the goalkeeper.
Well, and he takes just a couple of dribbles to get him completely out of position, but not too many. He doesn't over dribble to the point of letting the keeper get into the play. No, just enough to get him completely off balance, and then that little lob.
Yeah.
It's like that little Panenka. It's like a Panenka, but from the run of play, not on a PK.
Yeah, because he that was just great. He feinted and then just shot it over the head of Piconis. But yeah, I mean that honestly, like if you were to tell me coming into this game, like as much as we were hyped up because of the 6-1 win against Kansas City, that we were gonna win like 3-0 versus Mazatlan, who were coming in on a really good run and in third place in the table. Like that's I wouldn't believe it because that game, like it was like literally it could have been like 1 goal away, but then this turned out, and I'm glad because this is in the league. This is the 3rd win in a row, and overall it's the 4th win in a row. And yeah, it looks like we're up for business, guys. It's coming together, and it's actually sooner than I thought. Like I didn't think it was gonna be this quick.
Well, I remember saying I'm going to give Olan until 6 or 7 jornada.
Yeah.
But I think 4 is enough. Especially given given our form in
Yeah.
Leagues Cup and given our form in this Saturday's match, I think 4 is enough. But wait, we'll have to see. We'll have to see how they do against Chivas midweek.
Yeah.
And we'll have to see how they do in doble jornadas. Because historically speaking, we haven't been a good team in doble jornadas.
Mm-hmm.
No, but historically speaking, we haven't been a good team against MLS opposition. We haven't been a good team in the rain. Those are two spells that Holland. Those are two spells that Holland has already seemed to have broken, and the third one is doble jornadas. So if he broke the first 2 spells, I have confidence that he can break this one too. Also, getting an extra day of rest that Chivas didn't have. Also, Chivas making the long trip back from Torreon to Guadalajara, losing a day of training for that probably. Leon is, it's a road trip to Guadalajara. It's not even the travel is very straightforward. We're getting kind of lucky with with all of we have a lot of matches in a short amount of time, but we're getting about as lucky as we possibly can in terms of having a couple extra days or having that little bit of extra rest that our opponents don't have.
Yeah.
And using that to our advantage. So I hope that plays a role in this one too. But yeah, the rain games, that's 2 rain wins in a row for Holland.
Those are tough games. Rain is always a really decisive factor. It can go either way.
2 rain league wins in a row. It was not raining in Kansas City that I could see, but 2 league rain wins in a row. I don't remember a single rain win in the entire Ambriz era.
No, I'm sorry. I have to take that one back, Louis. I got to remind you that golazo by Chapito against Monterrey.
Yeah, but that was the pitch was it had stopped raining, I believe, by the time the match started.
Okay, so you don't count it.
But the grass is still wet, though.
The grass was still wet, and
the pitch was horrible.
The pitch turned into basically the same thing that it turned into by the end of this game against Mazatlan as well. Yeah, I remember that one, but I also remember that the rain had stopped by the time the match started. It did not I can assure you, I was there this time, and it definitely did not stop by the time the game started. It just died down enough to the point where they could play.
Yeah,
and the pitch had drained enough to the point where there were some nasty puddles.
You could see the patches in the
Oh yeah.
Let's quickly jump into some pregame news, shall we? First major point. Obviously, Santiago Ormeño, Louis, you mentioned this at the beginning of the podcast. Santiago Ormeño is out due to some lower back issues. He came out against Querétaro holding his back. He didn't play against KC, and he wasn't even on the match day roster against Mazatlan. Does that worry you guys? You guys think he'll be back sooner than later?
He's been in training though. I think they're just being extra careful with their shiny new signing.
Yeah,
I don't think they want him to aggravate it and have to miss even more time. So I think they're being careful with him, especially with the compressed schedule. I could see him maybe coming on as a sub against Chivas, or maybe even starting. I don't know. Maybe this was strategic. Not having him at all in the matchday squad at all against Mazatlan, and then having him ready to go completely for Chivas. I could see something like that happen.
Yeah. Go ahead, Jose.
Right now, like when it comes to that, I don't. Good riddance. I'm not worried because Davila is, he's actually looking really good right now, and I think right now, even if Ormeño came back and he was able to play right now with the performances that Davila has been given, it's gonna be hard to take out that starting role from him, to be honest.
That's true. Very true. Point number 2. We talked about this in the last podcast. Jose, you weren't here. Neither were any of the other members, but go ahead and chime in if you want. Leon is going to face Pumas in the Leagues Cup in the semifinal on September 15th in Houston, Texas. How do we feel about that?
How much how many rest days do we have?
How many what?
Rest days. Like is this gonna be like in a week where we're gonna have like back to back games?
Oh,
I don't remember when it was.
That's a good question.
It'll be the equivalent of a doble jornada. But it was gonna be this way regardless of who the opponent was, and getting to Houston to play a familiar opponent is much better than having to get all the way to New York to play an opponent you're facing the first time on a pitch that they're far more comfortable playing on. That was kind of the
That's
consensus.
true.
That was kind of the consensus we had when it was Carlos and I bantering about it.
I guess you're right.
So we play September 11th against Tigres, and then we play the Leagues Cup on the 15th, and then the 18th we play Juarez. And if we make it to the final of the Leagues Cup, we'll be playing on the 22nd, 23rd, I can't remember.
22nd, I believe. Yeah.
22nd. So you have maybe 3 or 4 matches in there that we could potentially play in. So you might see a lot of shuffling around, especially in leagues play, if we're going to play for that Leagues Cup and we're really trying to win it.
So far, Holland has been doing smart tweaking moves, and it has had resultados to the moment. But let's see, because regardless of how like Tigres is doing right now, they're not, we're not really, especially when we're visiting El Volcán. Pero a ver.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not an easy place to win, no matter how Tigres looks. I'm wondering if they may just go straight to Houston after playing in Monterrey. Like, why come all the way back to León and then go all the way back up?
That's true.
To Houston. They might just get an early start and head straight to Houston, spend a couple days getting acclimated there. That would be my guess. Is their travel schedule is sometimes unpredictable, but they tend to like to take as few detours as possible. So I wouldn't be surprised if they just stay. If they go straight from Monterrey after that Tigres match to Houston, get settled in and play that Leagues Cup match, and then come back to León for the Juarez game. But yeah, I mean, my thing is just like Pumas is a team that this team, Holland not specifically, but members of his staff and of course the players who've been with the club for a while, they know Lilini's Pumas inside and out way more than they know anything about New York City FC. And it's also a much easier trip to Houston than it is to New York. So yeah, I think it's the best possible outcome of the Leagues Cup quarterfinal for León.
Right. So let's go over the starting lineup real quick for this León versus Mazatlan match. We have Rodolfo Cota, Osvi Rodriguez making his first appearance under Holland, William Tecillo, and Ramiro Gonzalez, who had to exit the game. Andres Mosquera playing right back. Very impressive, in my opinion. Colombato, Jefecito, Elias Hernandez, Omar Fernandez, Victor Davila, and Angel Mena, rounding off the starting 11. How do we feel about the starting 11? It's a little bit different on the defensive side, but I honestly didn't expect Andres Mosquera to start as a right back, but he actually did a pretty good job out there.
Yeah, he's played well there in the past. It's kind of been a while since we've seen him there with any sort of regularity, but I feel like he's done well there on the pass. And as I mentioned on the show, I mentioned in the chat that I'm okay with him there as opposed to playing in the middle or as a center back, because that means he's outside of the box more and is less likely to give up a careless PK.
Okay.
I guess it's true. Well, I mean, he did have a good game, and I think I did like this lineup. It's just one change, but it actually he moved 2 players. So Tecillo went down to the center, and then Osby went to the left. Then Mosquera, but they look solid. They didn't really look like they were troubled by Mazatlan, which coming into this game, they were doing pretty good for themselves. So that's I don't know if this was like more of a tactical change, or if he's gonna remain with this lineup for next game. But they do say like alineación que gana, repite. So we'll see.
Yeah, no, I expect to see some changes though, just because of the short turnaround.
Really? Okay. So you expect maybe Avion to get back in there?
I expect maybe Avion to start again at right back, and Mosquera either to maybe be on the bench or start again at center back. I don't know. We'll see.
So one guy, and I know he's Louis' favorite. Osvi started in the last match, and Sanaku saying, I was surprised Osvi starting. And to everyone's surprise, he ended up making the ideal 11 for this weekend.
He did.
So,
I think.
go ahead, Louis. I'll let you go. Go ahead.
You love to see it,
I mean,
right?
I don't think he had a bad game per se, but I think Davila deserved to, or Davila or Mena deserved to be in the once ideal way more than Osvi did. I mean, maybe it just couldn't work out that way just because of other guys in those positions having good weeks. But I don't know. Yeah, that was a little surprising to me. I don't know. I mean, I'm trying to give him more of the benefit of the doubt than I would have before. You don't become a seleccionado nacional for no reason. So
is it safe to say that your opinion is kind of changing now? Like you're more of an Ozzy fan than you used to be?
well, I'm more open to becoming an Osvi fan. I'll put it that way.
Okay.
You're on the road.
I still think that Tecillo is our best option at left back now that Jairo is gone.
I think Osvi has improved a lot. I mean, compared to the last season where we were kind of on the edge, kind of not content with him starting. I think he's definitely fought an uphill battle with us, and I mean, I am liking him more than I used to.
Yeah, but Tecillo also made the best 11 playing as a center back. So I mean, that guy's he's the best in that area of the field in the league right now.
And
in my opinion,
he's probably gonna end up playing that position more as the season progresses because of Ramiro's injury, because we don't really have anyone else there.
Yeah, and Barreiro and Tecillo, they have more se entienden mejor. They have more good chemistry in that midfield. And
props to Barreiro as well for coming in and doing admirably, replacing Ramiro after that injury. You know, I would have thought there'd be reason for him to be kind of salty about being benched, because he's been a stalwart. He's been very stable in that position for a long time, for like the past 2 seasons, and he got yanked, but he came in and fared very well, having to come on in an emergency. So props to him as well.
Do we know how long Ramiro is he out for any time, or was it no? Right?
I
don't think
no announcement.
There's been no reporte médico.
You know how it is.
Yeah,
I do. And
it looks like a hamstring, and hamstrings are tricky.
Yeah.
It just sucks because the weather was really the reason why. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Right.
I
mean, he happened to take a big step down. I mean, I was looking at the field, like trying to see where there were still puddles, and he took the biggest step down. He took the biggest, hardest step down right where there was still a big puddle.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah. So after that, that's why I said after that, I'm just like, I don't even care how they play after this. Let's just pray there are no more injuries. Sort of like every time they play in Tijuana, you know, like just get through this. Yeah. Just get through this without any injuries. You know.
I just hope that there's no I hope that there's no more of these games, at least at home, because I mean, heck, I saw the weather the other day. My parents sent me a video of how I was in León, and it was just like un diluvio out there. There was water everywhere. So we'll see. Hopefully no more injuries, because especially on the defense, because that's where we suffered. Like if one of them goes out, things start getting shaky, and we don't need that right now.
It's nice to have depth now at the center back position, more than we had before, but we can't afford another injury there. Okay, yeah, yes. We're having to dip into our depth now. It's nice to have it, but not need it. Well, now we need it, and we can't afford another injury in that area. So,
if worse comes to worse, we do have the youngster Pedro Hernandez, who did a pretty good job last season under Nacho Ambriz. So, I would trust him. I would trust him coming in a situation where we had to fill in for someone.
Yeah,
definitely.
But in any event, let's hope Ramiro's injury is not something that's going to keep him out for a long period of time.
Mm-hmm. That is my concern.
Yeah.
Shout out to Sanaku always joining, as well as Josue Espinosa giving his insight. Heavily surprised with the defense. The back line looked good, even with the last minute injury. And also they're keeping opposing teams to low scores except for versus
Yeah.
Chupu.
This is
But we're now
You're right. This is I forgot about that. This is the second second game in the league with the clean sheet, and all after Kota came back.
Huh?
Yeah.
nicely
I don't know how
muted.
much correlation there is there though. Vasquez Mellado, I mean, let's not let's
Yeah,
let's
but
let's give my
I'm not
boy
saying
Vasquez
that he's
Mellado
bad.
too. You
Like,
know,
I'm not saying he's bad. It's just Kota has been with the team better, so he probably is knows how to organize his backline better than Vasquez Mellado.
Exactly.
I'll give all the props, not to Cota, but I'll give all the props in the world to Jefecito.
I was about to say, Carlos.
Yeah,
Like, if we're talking about improvements, or we're going to talk about Jefecito that game.
He's in his
slowly but surely
2019
coming back.
level. He's
I don't know.
on another level this year.
I don't know if he's at 2019 level yet though.
Not yet.
There was a little bit of there were a few sloppy moments still.
Okay, individual performance review on Jefecito that night.
Pretty good.
Oh,
Like 1 to a
Probably
10.
numbers, man.
he's the only recovery man we have.
I mean,
Colombato doesn't really recover, and it's Jefecito. Anytime somebody gets the ball from the opposing team in the midfield, Jefecito's on him.
yeah.
And he made that beautiful pass to Davila. I mean, I think
say-
he had a great game. I'm gonna say 8.5.
Mhm.
That's solid. That's a solid score. I agree.
I'll give him an 8. There were still too many sloppy moments for me from him at the beginning of the game. He grew into the game, which is a good thing to see. But I think he's on the right track, definitely. And we haven't said that about him in a long time. But yeah, I want to see more steadiness from the opening whistle from him. There were a couple of sloppy passes, sloppy just tackles or missed tackles in the beginning of the game. So yeah, 8 for me.
Still solid.
Yeah, still solid.
Yeah.
Josue also said watching Mosquera go back and putting passes was nice to see the new tools we have to attack.
He was attacking. I mean, it's
Yeah.
kind of weird to see him get in the box of the opposing team.
I
Man. That's
mean-
kind of weird to see.
He even had like this one chance when he was like he tried to hit the ball, right? And but because had got to it first.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was pretty good.
And he tried his luck once from distance, and it was closer than I expected it to be.
Yeah.
So out of the 3 goals, does anybody have a favorite goal?
I mean, it's kind of hard to.
Davila was emotional.
I'm gonna go.
Davila's was pretty good too, but
I'm gonna go with Gigliotti's.
yeah,
Me too.
Just because.
And the Gigolo
Well, it
has more of a feeling.
I guess
Well,
what he represents. Yeah, you're right.
Side note.
Mhm.
Que descanse en paz, Fernando. No, was it? I think it's Fernando Gigliotti, the father of Emmanuel Gigliotti, who passed away today in Buenos Aires.
Yeah.
And we learned over the
Exactly,
course
I
of
had no idea.
we learned over the course of these past few days that
Wow.
Gigliotti's been struggling with the illness of his father, but decided to stay in León with the team rather than leave the team to be with his father. So mad props to my man. I mean, if I was already ragging on people for booing him in the stands, I'm certainly ragging on them now. Like, you never know what people are going through.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not saying that is
Yeah.
the entire reason for his drop in form over the past however long. But it's certainly, you have to think that contributed, and you never know what's going on with people. And like, give my man a break. And we don't even have to talk about his missed PK. Like, for me,
Yeah, let's not talk about it.
for me, scoring that goal in such a typical, what I think of as a typical Gigliotti goal in León, you know, the goals that he scored. Well, when it's not a header off a set piece, you know, it's just that sliding, just gets that foot on it last second, that sliding foot on it last second in the box, like just like his goal against Pumas in leg 1 of the final. that,
Mhm.
and he's got such a great foot on it, and exactly what you want to see from him, especially coming in as a sub like that, coming in a couple minutes, getting a goal like that. I think it was a great moment for him. He probably should have left it at that and let Mena take the PK at the end, but he didn't. But that's okay for me. Like that was the best of the three.
Yeah.
And let's be real, we've seen Mena, we've seen Chapo, we've seen a lot of people miss penalties. So I want
Mhm.
to say something about Gigliotti, right? Because I also was very mad when guys like I looked at them like, why are you like I was very confident.
Mm.
Oh, Javi, can't hear you.
You're cutting off.
I think we'll let Javi kind of restore his connection. But I think Gigliotti had his goal had a sentimental value just because I think he really redeemed himself. And like Louis said, we're not going to talk about the missed penalty, but I think it was great. It was like a great confidence kind of moment for him. Although I really did enjoy Davila's, and I really, really enjoyed Mena's, who now has
Absolutely.
52 goals with the club, a un gol de Gulit Peña. So, isn't it crazy how time goes by so fast, and he already has 52 goals?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean,
He's-
it helped that he was a top scorer or around the top scorers for like 2 straight seasons.
Mhm.
That really helps his cause.
Well, more than 2-3 seasons actually.
Yeah.
But
And as we were talking about before you jumped on, Kari, that to see him get one from open play rather than just a spot is also
Mhm.
very encouraging, and especially that little lob live play Panenka thing that he does that he's done so many times.
Yeah.
So to get one like that was sure it was a
PreMatch.
great goal. It was a great goal, but Gigliotti's was too, and I feel like it meant so much.
Yeah.
So I have to stick with that one.
Hopefully, his dad at least got to see that, kind of more of a sentimental before. But yeah, huge. I want to send Gigliotti a hug. Gigliotti, if you ever hear this, we all send you a hug from the Lions Den podcast. Okay, let's go ahead and do the jornada rundown, as guys, it is doble jornada, fabulous time that we get to see our team back to back. I know you guys were talking about Leagues Cup in Houston. I'm gonna try and see if I can get off work, make that
You
trip
should
down
just
there.
request a day off.
I mean, I just got back, so I don't know if they're gonna, my old boss is gone, so I need to see how I can maneuver that. But
Oh man.
there is a lot of action before that Leagues Cup game. Right before we'll talk about the doble jornada matchup. Our guest is waiting. We're gonna quickly go through the rundown of what happened in this jornada. Necaxa beating San Luis 2-0. Puebla and Tigres drawing 1-1. I honestly thought Puebla was gonna. Yeah.
Piojo on the hot seat.
I mean, I gave him a year. That's it. So.
I mean, with that team.
Yeah.
You love to see it.
Well, I mean, I think the real question there is Gigliotti not playing because he's not ready to play, or because he's not bought into what Piojo is selling? If that's the case, then yeah, I think.
Wait, Gigliotti? You mean Gignac?
No, Gignac. Sorry,
Gignac.
I got.
Okay.
Wait.
Sorry, we've been talking a lot about Gigliotti.
Yeah.
Gignac. Why Gignac is not playing? If Gignac is not playing because he can't play yet or isn't ready, or just because he's not jiving with Piojo. If that's the case, then this could be a rather short tenure for Piojo in San Nicolas de los Garza. But no, I think they're going to figure things out.
I mean, Gignac said he would be ready for the Leon match. So
yeah, but that's still a few matches away.
I mean,
like, why is he already talking about that? Was confusing to me. Why is he already talking about a match that's happening on September 11th? There's like 3 other matches before then.
Well, I guess we won't know.
Of course, he wants to be ready for the Leon match, right?
Of course he does. Yeah.
Of course.
Juarez 1-1
always against Leon.
Huh?
What did you say, Javi?
Or the delay?
No, I say always against Leon.
Oh yeah, always against Leon.
Yep.
Yeah.
Pumas, Querétaro drawing 0-0. Obviously, our win over Mazatlan 3-0. Cruz Azul. I mean, the first 5 minutes, Cruz Azul was already up on the scoreboard, and I was like, should I even watch this game? They ended at 4-0 win. At the same time, Monterrey 3-1 over Pachuca. America beating Atlas 1-0, and Santos and Chivas drawing 0-0. It's a lot of red cards this jornada.
Thankfully, none in our team though.
On our side, yeah.
Yeah.
So far.
Yeah, 3-1 Monterrey over Pachuca, but our boy Jairo Moreno opening his account with the Tuzos before getting fouled nastily by Vincent Janssen. Yeah.
Still our boy Carlos, like even though he's in Pachuca, we can still call him our boy. Okay.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I
mean,
Remember, Cuddy, he's only on loan. He's only on loan to Pachuca.
I know, but it just him wearing the jersey, it's like
is Campbell still our boy?
I have like a bittersweet part in my heart.
He feels less of our boy.
Yeah. It feels a little bit less.
Like I feel like Jairo is it's more like, especially when he like had his dance with the Tecillo y todos los otros colombianos, like, you know,
and he scored in the final.
Mm-hmm.
Like I think he would be goofy, like to just like talk to and like, you know.
Yeah, that Colombian connection makes it I think so. He's a little bit more our boy still than Campbell is. Well, Campbell's just, I don't know. He has kind of an indifferent. He has kind of a distant, indifferent personality. I feel like.
Yeah.
You know.
Mm-hmm.
So that makes it a little easier to part ways with him. But yeah, no, a lot of action in the involving teams above us who were above us in the table, losing surprisingly or por goleada, like the 4-0 Toluca, who was in first place. But then obviously the Necaxa away 2-0 win at San Luis. I didn't see that coming either. That was very surprising. Necaxa has not looked good at all, and they went in and got a big result.
Yeah,
allowing Leon to leapfrog San Luis in the table.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So lots of games starting tomorrow and Wednesday as our game is programmed. So tomorrow, Toluca Mazatlan at 5 Central, Tigres Querétaro, Necaxa Pumas, and Xolos en Puebla. On Wednesday, Cruz Azul Monterrey, Santos and Atlas, the Olergi matchup, Juarez and America, which should be interesting because it's Tuca and, you know, Piojo. No, not Piojo. Sorry, Solari. See, why do I always think about Piojo when I think about America? Like, it's.
I guess that's for the same reason I think of Gigliotti when I really need Gignac.
And Guadalajara, Chivas versus Leon. And with that, we're going to introduce a member of the Chivas del Norte gang crew. Sorry, no gang affiliations, crew. As they always do their weekly podcast, and they kind of always invite the community, the Chivas del Norte community, to join when they have their talks over Twitter. We're going to go ahead and add Vado to the podcast. Hello, Vado, can you hear us?
Hey, what's up, everyone?
Hey, Vado, when am I going to see your face? Like, when?
I don't know. It's lighting. I need a haircut, you know.
That's always going to be an excuse.
Come on, bro. We need to know you're not a robot.
I have social anxiety, guys. Come on.
Are you real?
I mean, I met AJ. What's his AJ from the Eagle Eye podcast yesterday? We went to the Gotham, New York, New Jersey game, so I am real. I have people that can confirm I'm real.
I know, but it's like I never get to talk to you. I'm gonna have to just FaceTime you one of these days.
What we did that? Who did we talk to? We talked to some Mexican national team players.
Yeah, but
I had my camera on that day.
This small on my screen, like that doesn't count. Like I need a full face.
I guess. Okay.
Varo, how are you tonight? And are you ready to talk about our matchup this upcoming Wednesday?
I'm doing good. I guess I'm ready. We were talking offline. I was telling you that on the CDN pod, we said the season doesn't start until we actually get our Olympic players back, because we knew she was gonna struggle without them. And I think last night was the first time they actually looked like a decent team. We didn't get the win, but I don't think it wasn't a terrible performance like a lot of fans were saying on Twitter or anywhere else.
Definitely. I guess from the beginning of the season, like you said, it doesn't really count unless our seleccionados come back. But I mean, how confident do you feel, especially with this doble jornada, ya con los seleccionados? How do you feel, especially facing León midweek? How do you think Chivas, like, are they strong to come in this game, or are they still kind of like trying to figure things out?
Yeah, I think we're still trying to figure things out. I think Vucetich is always trying to figure things out, especially with our lineup and not knowing how to use our players exactly. So it's always a struggle. I don't think I ever think like realistically Chivas is the favorite to win the game, but with my heart, I always end up picking Chivas.
Guys, do you have any questions so far? No.
Guys?
Anybody?
Guys?
I know you want to say something, Carlos. You got that look in your eye like you want to say something.
I was typing. I was going on Twitter typing the comments, but I had a question and I just completely went blank. Jose, step in. Come on.
Oh, right. Man, what do we?
Okay, let me go then. So I know.
No idea.
I know I had joined you guys on the talk that you had over Twitter about kind of after the season, kind of talks about what players, what kind of additions, about maybe a preferred coach. I mean, I think talk to me about another season with Vucetich. I mean, I know how you guys are thinking, but do you think this could be his last season? I'm not in a bad way, but it's kind of like, when does Chivas put a stop to Vucetich, as I know a lot of fans are not content.
I mean, it comes down to can Chivas afford to get another coach, right? That seems to be the running theme within like the last 2 or 3 seasons where we can't bring in players, or even the players we have, we can't seem to sell because nobody really wants them. They come to Chivas and don't really play well, and then for some reason after they leave Chivas, they're like the greatest players in the world. But I think Vucetich, I don't know why they have so much faith in him. I think he relies on the wrong players. I think he's starting to learn and he's starting to bench certain players. I know Molina's like one of his favorites, and he's been benched a couple of times this season so far. So I don't know. Maybe you can teach an old dog new tricks. Maybe he's learning something. But I don't know. I'm not a fan of Vucetich. I don't really know who's out there that we can bring in anyway. So I guess we're stuck with him until we can figure out a long-term solution, because I think Chivas has to stop going for the short-term solution. We need a long-term solution.
You're not one of those who begs for Almeida to come back, are you?
I think that ship has sailed.
Good, thank you. Finally, a Chivas fan who says that.
We've said it on the podcast, and we tweet it out all the time. Like, just let it go. Sure, it'd be great to have him back. But I don't think. I feel like there's a rumor that Amaury doesn't really like him, or they don't get along, something like that. And then he had that fallout with our front office. So I just don't realistically think it's a possibility anymore. If he comes back, welcome him back with open arms. He gave us like the best 2 years as a Chivas fans as we could have in like the last 30 that we've been playing. So I'd welcome him back. But yeah, that ship has sailed, man.
Yeah, I think your guys' situation is similar to what it was for us when Matosas left, and then fans wanted Matosas back, and then Matosas also had like some sour relationships with Grupo Pachuca, so that's another thing too. See, so yeah, I mean, like you say, like they just need to get over it. Are you guys like, if you can't afford anyone because of financial issues, are you guys willing to get someone from home, like I don't know, like a youth manager maybe from the Sub-20 or something?
Well, we have Leaño, who's I think he's like the director of the youth academy, something like that. And he's taken over. He's been like our interim GM, and we have the running joke that he's been the interim coach, not the GM, the interim coach, and he's never lost a game as coach with Chivas, so we call him the greatest Chivas coach of all time because he's never taken a loss. I mean, if I guess we have to go in house, we can take him. I know I've heard good things about. I think one of the U20 coaches who apparently is being molded to be a senior team coach eventually.
Mhm.
So I think, and then now we have this thing where Amaury said he wants to go back to the 70-30 rule where, he wants 70% of the team to be academy or like Chivas players, and then the other 30% he's going to go out in Mexico or wherever or in the world and buy them and bring them to Chivas. So I think internally is going to be I don't know if it is going to be, but that's what Chivas wants it to be. They want Chivas to just be a self-sufficient club, and that they're going to keep producing the academy players and get them to the first team, and that's what's going to carry the team to success. We tried it before; we almost got relegated, so we'll see how it goes this time.
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask you. Just to be upfront, I mean, I'm not gonna get too far into it, but I have many issues with Club Deportivo Guadalajara. But
I know I've listened to like random episodes.
Yeah,
and
every time it's literally
we don't even play you, man.
But honest question. You as a fan, but also very analytical, and I seem to be a pragmatist, a realist to some degree. I judge that by your answer to my question about Almeida. But do you think there is any way that with that 70-30 rule, already as difficult as it is to a league that gets more international by the year, I know they're trying to limit that a little bit by having fewer foreigners on rosters, but still, like, better international players come into Liga MX every year, which makes the competition for a team playing with puros Mexicanos even stiffer, even tougher. Do you think there's any way that rule can work toward sustained success in Primera División for Chivas at all going forward? What is your opinion on that?
Are you basically asking me if we need foreign players?
No.
Like, what do I think?
But
of
I
the
also
rule?
don't think you need. I don't think you need to have that 70-30 rule. I mean, I think. Okay, just to give a little background, my opinion is if you're going to stick with puros Mexicanos, which I don't see Chivas ever not doing that. That's kind of like that's their calling card. That's what they're going to do. But
Right.
So you need to try to get the best Mexicanos you possibly can, no matter where they're coming from. You basically have to be like the selección, the best Mexicanos, wherever they might be, the best ones you can get, whether they're academy players or not. For me, that's the only way I see Chivas being able to compete in the next 10, 20 years in Liga MX. I don't know what you think about that, though.
Yeah, I think we're just going to have, we're going to hit gold every 4 or 5 years. I know we win the championship every 10 years, so I think we're going to hit gold on the academy players occasionally. We're going to maintain the ship afloat. If we stay with the 70-30 rule, I think Chivas can produce good enough players to avoid relegation whenever relegation does come back, or if it comes back. And it's sustainable, and I think that's a fantastic step. We're probably not gonna be fighting for a championship year in, year out, or season after season, because to think you're gonna produce great players with every youth class, that's like you said, you got to be realistic, right? You're not gonna produce great players every class. Like we barely produce players in the last 5 years. When we won the championship, our last championship, we had, I think, like three academy players on that starting 11. So, we're gonna need luck, and soccer, you need luck in soccer, and I think that's what we're gonna count on. It's gonna carry us through. We'll get through it, but we're not gonna be fighting for a championship every season.
Now, is that frustrating to you as someone who covers the team? A team that continues to want to sell itself or pass itself off as the biggest team in the country. How does that affect you that they're not regularly fighting for titles despite wanting to be that club?
Well, you have the fans that you said are not realistic. They think Chivas should be a top club every season out. For me, I accept it for what it is. I think if you're a Chivas fan, you love the fact that, like you said, they play with only Mexicans, and I think that's a selling point, right, for you as a fan. If not, I would just be a fan of any other Liga MX team, right? I think like 2 or 3 weeks ago there was like a Fox Deportes guy that tweeted, what would you do if your Liga MX team ceased to exist like tomorrow morning? Like, who would you root for? I think he said. And I was like, I would never watch the league again. Like, I'd be done with Liga MX forever. Like, if Chivas doesn't exist, I'm not watching Liga MX. You know? So I think for fans that look at it that way, I think, you know, we're gonna stick with the ship, and you know, we hate the team, but it's our team, so we're gonna watch it, right?
I respect that.
I
respect that. No, I respect that.
Right.
That's respectable.
That take, though.
I mean,
Yeah, you gotta
take.
be
Yeah.
en las buenas y en las malas. So
Yeah.
Of course.
Definitely. Shout out to Dude It's Danny, who is a very, very, very well-known Chivas hermano. I always see saying Chivas fans here support Varo with the googly eyes. And also when he was talking about the coach, the Sub-20 coach doing amazing things, we'd love to see him. I think you guys have just had a bad luck of coaching. Like you mentioned about players leaving and doing well. I mean, I remember seeing Sendejas here at a Dallas Cup, and I thought, oh, this kid's pretty good. And then it's like now he's, you know, doing big things somewhere else. Like, you know,
three goals with Necaxa, I think, this season, and their captain too.
Yeah, it's kind of like what happened. You know, I think just coaching wise, I think you guys have just had a bad run, and it kind of, you know, goes downhill with that, because I think all the players kind of go with that.
Yeah.
But I guess Josue was talking about the Vucetic being in danger. So I guess to my guys, what Leon player should Chivas kind of be looking out for this upcoming match?
right now,
Kind of depends on the lineup and how much it's rotated for the doble jornada.
That's true.
But if they repeat mostly the same lineup that they had against Mazatlan, my boy Davila is just on great form as a number 9 right now. He's just doing really nice things, and I think they might underestimate him. You know, Ormeño might not be available. Gigliotti. I mean, he did what he did against Mazatlan. He did what he did against Mazatlan, but I don't expect many Chivas fans to be worried about him. But Davila, yeah, I think Davila would be the choice for me if he plays.
Yeah,
I would go with Omar Fernandez just because he's new in Leon. Chivas have never faced him with Leon. I mean, they probably faced him with Puebla, but with Leon, with this new system, a more aggressive, more offensive style, I would be watching out for him, because you give him the ball and there's a bit of space, he's gone. And it's probably a goal. So I would go with Omar Fernandez.
Yeah, I think for me it's the same. But I think to be honest, it's probably like a set too, because right now the ones that are in tune with each other, especially the last game, is between Mena, Omar Fernandez, and Davila. Like those three right now, they're like a glue right now. So they're doing wonderful things on their right flag.
Yeah. Hopefully we have a better run with doble jornadas, because I remember, you know, this past couple of times it's kind of been, you know, our rough road. And I think Javi said for him it would be Colombato as a player to watch out for. So I'm asking Varo now.
Another one.
Yeah. Varo, what players do you think we should keep an eye out on Wednesday?
I mean, the player we live or die by. We live or die by what he does is Alexis Vega. So Alexis Vega is our guy. If he's not having a good night, then Chivas is probably not going to win. Last night, at the end of the game, people were asking why didn't Alexis Vega play. I was like, dude, he played all 90 minutes. So you know how that's how our night went. If Vucetic could figure out how to use Uriel Antuna, he would be someone to look out for. But it seems that Vucetic doesn't like to play him in space and wants him to beat players one-on-one, which isn't really his strength. So I think Vega's the guy you guys have to look out for. If you lock him down, you guys should be in decent shape because the rest of the team kind of revolves around him.
Yeah.
What is he? Does he play? Does he play right winger or left winger? Because I think at the Olympics he was playing right wing, and last night he was playing left wing.
Yeah, Vucetich plays him on the left wing. Sometimes he plays him behind the striker as a false nine. I don't know. Vucetich just puts him anywhere, see if it works. Throws stuff at the wall, see if it sticks. But yeah, I can't tell you. Like you asked me where one player plays. We see Uriel Antuna thrive with the national team on the right wing, and Vucetich brings him back to Chivas and throws him on the left wing. And I'm like, what are you doing? Like, did you not watch? That's why when people are watching the Olympics, they're like, why can't these players shine with Chivas? Because Vucetich
They're playing out of position.
doesn't know how to use them. Yeah, like you're playing them in the wrong positions. You're not using their strengths. So.
But it's kind of like a cheat sheet,
It's frustrating.
I love seeing Vega and Antuna, especially in this Olympics. Like they just do so well, and it's just it kind of frustrates me when they go back to Chivas, and I'm like, they should be flawless, and it's like Vucetich has a cheat sheet of like what's the best way that I can use this, how can I accommodate, and it's like the total opposite.
Yeah, there was one game in the Olympics, I think, that Vega was like dropping back all the way to right back. I forget what game it was, but he was like dropping all the way back to right back. And I was like, oh, look, he's getting back and forth for Chivas because to get the ball, he has to drop all the way back to like right back or left back and like dribble the ball all the way up to the other team's goal, like because no one can get him the ball.
Yeah, and it frustrates me. And hear me out, Louis. It frustrates me because I'm a Mexicana, so I'm gonna hold my Mexican voice to a certain level. So don't get it twisted. Okay, I'm just saying. I love Alexis Vega. It's some I like him, so. It's just unfortunate that under Vucetich it's a little different story versus Selección.
Cody, we're gonna make fun of you for being a closet Chivas fan, no matter what.
Ay, Dios mío.
We call her a closet Chivas hermana.
Okay. Yeah. Look, on paper I'm officially Mexican American. Okay, like I got my Mexican citizenship, so officially it's been delayed for so long, but now look, you celebrated your U.S. victory.
I sure did.
So leave me to my Mexican boys.
Man,
okay.
It's fine when they play for Mexico, but not when they play for Chivas.
It still hurts. It still hurts. Like if I, woke up at 3 a.m. to see Alexis Vega and was my favorite player to watch, and now I see him struggling at Chivas, I was like, how can it not hurt me on that level?
Wait, so Vado said that if Chivas disappeared tomorrow, he would stop watching Liga MX. So if Leon disappeared tomorrow, that mean you would support Chivas?
Why are you asking me that?
Whoa.
That's a tough question.
No. You did
no.
not get to ask me that.
Because it's like, wait a minute. It's like, wait a minute. Vado's Vado is like, he's a hardcore fan. Like,
I'm out.
He's like to the death. No. He's like out.
I bleed green. I was, I'm there always. I'm just saying, like, I don't think it's fair that I feel like bad if I say like I like the Mexican players that Chivas has, like the ones that I actually like, because it's like I'm like, oh, I'm a little
understandable.
You know what I mean? It's like the only
Mexican I have players from other teams that I go, hey, that's a good player. I like his game,
Yeah, like
I want
like for my team.
Like Omar Fernandez when he played for Puebla.
Yeah.
and look how that turned out.
Yeah. Even though I would have never imagined him coming to Leon, he was still a great player at Puebla.
Yeah.
He was.
Yeah.
And to me, it's like I've always admired Chivas for having all Mexican players. It's just something that I've always admired. I grew up watching Liga MX. I saw Chicharito, one of my favorite players, sub in and scored. Like it's the old days of me watching Liga MX, just as sufrí cuando León fue a la segunda and all that. It's just, I have to respect a team that carries all Mexican players, and that if they add to the selección, why would I not, admire that and want them to do well? You know?
I think if you're an L3 fan, you kind of want, like, obviously if you're for another team, you don't want them to win championships, right? But you kind of want them to be developing or having players in form so that they can jump to the national team and help the national team out, right? I'm not saying you're going to support Chivas, but you'll be happy that their players are playing well, and I think that's kind of what Gotti's trying to express. I think.
I mean,
Because
when
it's America Chivas. I'm saying Chivas. Like I am never will ever say America. And shout out to the Ego podcast because those are all my best friends. But I will never say America like at all. Like never in my life.
Like Córdoba for America. I can admit he's a great player, right? Like
He is a
I
great
wish he was on Chivas. Like, but yeah, I'm not rooting for America. Like I'll be happy for Córdoba, but America never.
Scotty, you haven't even mentioned your favorite player of all time, Cone Brizuela. Yeah. Come on, Cone Brizuela.
He is one of my favorites. The Mexican. I liked him when he was at Toluca. Like, it's like you have to kind of follow the players where they go, It's like what Varo said, Córdoba. I really enjoyed watching him in Los Olímpicos, and he goes back to America, and I'm happy they got number 10, but I just don't like America, So it's like that kind of double thing. So
see, I do the same thing, but usually I follow the players that are abroad. That's what I do. Like even they're not, because they're part of the national. The Mexican national team, and I want to see how they're doing, because obviously those are ones that either they're gonna carry us or,
Yeah.
But yeah,
like one JJ Macias, Jose.
I can't even watch his game because I don't even have that.
Oh, I watched his debut, but only because I am a Valencia fan. That's my European club. That's the one I support. And they were playing. They were playing against Getafe, so I saw Macias' first shift ever in La Liga, and he did pretty well, I have to say.
Don't bother watching Getafe, man. I think he was better off at Chivas.
I was watching for Valencia. I'm a Valencia fan.
Yeah.
They were playing Valencia, and Valencia won, thankfully. But JJ played pretty. He played better than I thought he would, to be honest.
But Getafe's not a good
I'm probably
team.
gonna keep.
No, they're not.
They're bad.
Is probably gonna be on Johan Vasquez, because right now we need defenders.
I'm so happy for him.
Yes,
I'm very happy, but I also would want Vega to go. Go live that dream.
Anyway,
I'm still reminiscing on the Olímpicos because it was just so cool because, we all had to wake up at a certain time. It's like you woke up at 3 a.m. It's like everybody in the community was watching. We were all up at the same time. And it was like we were all going through it together. And I really enjoyed the Olympics and this team. And, it was funny because when we lost, I was, me and Tom were talking. He was like, why is everybody on Twitter like, you guys like just lost, like you can't win anything, you still can play for bronze? I'm like,
yeah, exactly.
It's a feeling. Like I feel like we should have had it and we didn't, and I know what you're saying, but it doesn't feel that way. And then until it felt that way, and then we were content. So
I forget what year FIFA it was that it would be like the World Cup game, and you play, right? You lose, you go to the final, right? And then the announcer's like, this is a third place game, the game that nobody wants to play, but nobody wants to lose also. So that's what the bronze medal game was. It's like, we're here, we might as well win it, right? And they did, so good for them.
Yes.
It's better to live with something rather than empty-handed,
Exactly.
Especially in the Olympics. I feel like an Olympic bronze medal still means something. Probably the most meaningful bronze medal of anything. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It was so emotional when, to me anyways, I might seem like, oh my God, but when they were putting the medal on each other, it just brought me that was so nice. They must feel so happy, and it was just a happy moment for everybody.
Weren't they doing that because of COVID?
Yes, but still, it was enjoyable and emotional.
Anyways, back to this.
The only team that we got good out of the national team this summer for us.
Yes, Louis. We're not going to talk about what. Okay.
Yes, I don't want to remember for the rest of the year.
I think I've had my fun with it enough.
Yeah,
at this point.
have.
Yeah.
So Sanaku said Carlos really went there, and Josue
He did. Yeah. Yeah, Carlos.
I backed myself up.
You did.
He did.
It's just I I don't know what to do.
I mean, I don't know if I could support any other team. You know,
not support, but like you want them to do. I mean, to me, it's like I grew up watching Liga MX. It's like, why would I not watch it?
Yeah,
that's just me. Bato may have his own, feeling.
Like,
do y'all watch like other games besides Leon games? Like, I don't watch any other games besides Chivas games. I don't watch any of them. Only Chivas game. I don't watch any of them.
I used to, but now I can't. But before, when Leon was in Segunda División, I would watch all of them because like I was like, I don't know, hoping that one day I would see the green jersey on that field going against all these teams, and it only took 10 years, but
Bring on the Titanic meme. Like it only took this amount of years.
No, we usually catch all the games, right, Louis? Like
what?
I think it's me, Louis, and Cuddy. Like we're the ones who watch like almost all the games.
Yeah,
all the Liga MX games. Like
I watch as many as I can. Sometimes they're like I won't be able to watch my Timbers this Wednesday. They're playing an hour and a half before Leon, but I mean I'm gonna be on my way to Guadalajara for the game, so I won't be able to watch it.
Yeah.
I mean,
are they having a crowd for the game?
Yes, 30% capacity.
Okay. I mean, from like the women's side, randomly they'll announce like, okay, guys, guess what? No fans. I'm like, 2 days before, like, cool.
Yeah, no.
Right.
We have these semáforos here in Mexico, and Jalisco, the state of Jalisco, is technically in semáforo rojo. But Governor Alfaro, at the same time, he announced that people who want to drive into Guadalajara need a special pase de estancia temporal that you have to fill in your car's information and then print out. It's a huge pain. But then he also announced that despite the semáforo, both the Estadio Jalisco and the Akron would maintain their 30% aforo. So
makes sense. So,
right? So you know what? I was about to say you Alfaro, but then I was like, I love you, Alfaro. So yeah.
It's all about the money.
Some very interesting things down in Mexico.
Yeah,
but it's like I don't know. What was I gonna say? Oh, so when you were talking about like watching other Liga, like, I don't have enough time, but it's just like they say. Keep your friends close, keep your enemies closer.
Oh.
Dang,
Jose, damn.
Never thought you would say something like that.
That's like Shakespeare-ish.
You gotta keep tabs on everyone. I don't have enough time, but I wish I could have just like Carlos. I would watch every game probably too.
Yeah.
There's just some teams that I can't watch. That's just me personally. Like
there's some teams that you're gonna like switch to them, and I just turn it off. I'm like, no, I can't do this.
Which team can't you watch, Cuddy?
Pumas. Unless we're playing against them, I can't watch them. They just. First, I mean, the league is just uninterested as it is. But
wait, wasn't it the Pumas game with I saw it on Twitter that there was a video of these two fans that were sleeping on the Pumas game.
Are you serious?
Oh yeah, it was
an NYCFC game. Yeah, I was at that game. They were. I think they pretty much got. They were probably drinking, and then there was like a 3-hour rain delay. They just fell asleep at their seats, and then they just kept showing them like every 15 minutes on the jumbotron. And by the end of the night, both of them were awake. And when they showed them, like the crowd just roared when they showed them.
I hear you there, Kari, especially this version of Pumas, which basically doesn't have anything to cheer for.
Exactly.
But I did watch them against NYCFC just because I wanted to see who our opponent in the Leagues Cup semifinal was going to be. But that was the only reason.
Same.
Yeah. Oh, Javier says to add him because he's got his internet fixed. Yeah.
Okay.
Javi.
All right. Are you good?
Hey, what's up, guys? Yeah.
Yay.
Okay.
You guys hear me?
Oh,
yeah.
Yes, sir.
I figured I just gonna go outside where there's more internet and mosquito la mic because there's no luz. But yeah, I'm here.
Awesome.
All right, bro.
I think you heard all the whole chaos.
It's time. It's just about time to premiere my video, isn't it?
Oh yeah, we're gonna
Just in time.
New video.
New video for prediction time. Dude, it's Danny said you guys have a U.S. fan like Vado too.
Yes, yes. I support the United States men's national team. Born and raised in the U.S., but ironically, the only one. Well, Javier is also in Mexico right now, but normally I'm the only one who's here full time in Mexico. But I'm also the only one who supports the U.S. national team. So just kind of strange things.
Did Javier move?
What time
No, what would I
That's
boo?
not nice. We don't condone booing here, okay?
Fuera.
Oh,
Fuera.
Así nos llevamos Luis y yo.
yeah. You guys.
Javi, I know last week you gave a shout out to las señoras de las quesadillas outside La Corregidora. Are you going to give a shout out to another food stand this week?
No, I ran out of shout outs. I told you guys.
What about the
That's it.
enchiladas that you ate on Monday?
Yeah.
Oh
what
my
about
God,
the
sí, las
enchiladas?
cábulas. Riquísimas. I think the best in the city. People always say that. I've been there like twice, but for whatever reason, maybe porque estaba bien acompañado, I love clase de enchiladas.
Enamorado.
Okay.
Nah.
Anyways.
She's just a friend.
All right.
Yes, dude, it's Danny. Louis is our U.S. fan around here. We kind of keep that on the low key because
Especially lately.
I think it's cool though. Hay fieras de todos los países.
Oh yeah, well, I'm not talking about that. I'm just talking about when we're talking about selección stuff. That's when it's
Yeah.
So just sweep it under his rug.
Louis was very happy when he picked me up from the airport that day.
I was
very, very happy.
Very,
very, very happy.
Senaku said I try to watch all the games too. Jose said I hate watching Monterrey and Tigres, and then Senaku said I'm with you, Josue.
Yeah.
On this.
They just became best friends.
And I hate America. I can watch them on TV, but still can't stand them. I only watch America when they're losing. That's when I'm like, oh, this is interesting. That's when I watch.
You watch them in the hopes that they will lose.
I want to watch them lose. Yeah. Same.
So if they're like they're 1-0 down, I'm like, oh, let's change the channel. Like they're losing.
So if there's something everyone on this panel can agree on is that we all hate America.
Yeah.
Yes.
100%.
I'm very. Everybody, I don't gotta say anything.
Well, we hate Club America just so that line can't be taken out.
There you go.
Exactly.
You're right.
It's true though. That's kind of funny that you say that.
You're right. Club America.
Someone's gonna take that out of context.
Yes.
Especially with everything going on overseas.
Let's correct.
A Chivas fan.
Someone can edit this.
No, this is live, Javi. We can't edit it. We'll just.
Oh, I mean, you can.
No, I said someone can edit the video so it could sound like we're saying we don't like America.
But yeah,
everybody has some teams that they can't watch. So
that's
Cowboys.
So let's
don't mess with my Cowboys.
for Club America anyway.
I'm playing Kari. I love you.
Travis said FBI will hear that.
Yeah, that's why we clarified.
Clarify Louis one more time.
It was Club America.
We do not hate America, neither the country nor continent. We hate Club America of Liga MX. Yeah.
Awesome.
I think I hate it more because of Televisa, to be honest.
Yeah.
It goes hand in hand, doesn't it? It's a pack.
Oh, yeah.
Right? Like Televisa. Well,
I was
Televisa.
No, I was so mad when our game got delayed, and it's like, well, guys, Cruz Azul will be continuing as programmed, so the Leon game will be booted off on the internet instead. I was so mad because I'm like, why do we always take the hit with that stuff?
Yeah.
Luckily,
because it's Televisa.
So it was nice to be there live.
Yeah.
They'll never get over because they beat America en el Azteca.
Yeah.
Okay, guys.
Well, remember, they did a campaña. Televisa made a campaña. Against Leon. Don't forget.
Is it prediction time, Kari?
It is prediction time. Everybody listening to us via Periscope, YouTube, and Facebook, drop down your predictions on our Wednesday matchup versus Chivas. We're gonna do we have a new video courtesy of
Let's go. Been waiting for this.
As we had changed our sponsor, so it kind of needed to match the new sponsor, which is Charlie. So let's go ahead and roll the prediction time.
Prediction time.
There we go.
That was it.
Yeah, man.
Ese güey.
Short and
That
sweet.
sounds more epic, bro.
Short
It
and
sounds more
sweet,
like
yeah.
the anthem,
Yeah.
I expected like a melody or like
like
you
last
know,
time.
Oh,
Yeah, like last
Dude,
No,
Louis
I'm-
brings surprises.
Yeah.
I'm going short and sweet. I mean, that this one might only last for a little while. Maybe I'll make another one again. You know.
Okay, all right.
But,
season.
yeah,
Nice outfit though.
yeah. I love.
I like
oh
it. That
man, I'm
sounds- it
loving.
sounds like an
I'm
anthem.
loving my my green Charlie polo. Yeah, I'm
Right.
loving that. Yeah.
Okay, guys, let's go ahead and do prediction time. Let's go with Jose. You're gonna go first, and then I'm
Course,
gonna go
course.
Happy.
Yes.
I was like, I'm looking down. Kari's gonna pick on me. Yeah.
You need to be ready.
Okay. I think it's gonna be another clean sheet, and I'm gonna go. Just out of respect for Battle, I'm gonna go 2-0. But honestly, I wish we could do 3-0, but I don't know. We'll see. And I think it's gonna be. And I was hoping my boy Elias scores, so Elias, and hopefully to keep the costumbre going, another strike for Mena again for an open play.
Okay. Jose says 2-0 Leon with a clean sheet. Javi, your prediction.
I damn it. I agree. 2-0. I was gonna
Oh.
2-0. I think the way I see it, what Jose said is kind of what I'm looking at. It's not because there's someone I wanted to say 3-0, but I'm like, yeah, come on, let's be more conservative this time around. 2-0. I think si repiten alineación, que si Davila looks in good form. So I can't really know who else is gonna play, but I think 2-0 clean sheet. Well, let's hope, but let's see what happens. Yeah, 2-0.
Yeah.
Okay, also with a 2-0. Louis, everybody in the chat, give me your prediction. Louis.
Yeah, I was also going to say 2-0, and I want to be different, but I can't. I think that's just the most likely score. There's a reason all of us are predicting that. I think it's going to be Mena and Davila getting on the score sheet, and I think, the defense is going to hold them. I think, as stated, if Vega is kept in check, I don't know where the goals are going to come from, and I think they can keep him in check. Chivas has not looked good at all, especially at home. And I don't think this is going to be their breakthrough performance at Estadio Akron this season. So, 2-0.
Okay, another 2-0. I'm going to switch it up. Dude, it's Danny. Gave us his prediction saying 2-1 Ormeño and your center back with a mustache both score from set pieces.
Barreiro.
Barreiro.
Yes.
Barreiro.
Yeah.
I was like, who has a mustache?
Barreiro.
And then
Yeah,
Vega
I was like,
scored
who
one.
does have a mustache?
Yeah, it's Barreiro the only one, I think.
With the
I haven't seen Barreiro lately, though.
He's been on bench.
You just saw him, bro.
But you just saw him this past game. Vega
No, I mean,
with,
I haven't seen his
with
face.
the
The mustache.
70
Oh, okay.
minutes. So due to Sandy saying Leon a win over Chivas. Vado, I'm gonna go to you. Do you have a different opposite prediction?
Vado?
Uh-oh.
Oh no.
Vado, you're
He heard us say 2-0, and he's like, I'm out of here.
I mean, I would too, to be honest.
Vado, can you hear us? Hello?
He's trolling.
Vado, this is not funny.
If it's rolling.
Okay.
Maybe he froze.
Let's go to Carlos.
Ooh, this one's listen, Chivas historically has always given us trouble, except for the semifinals. Well, kind of in the semifinals as well. But historically speaking, And also, we're known as these levantamuertos that we're kind of trying to push under the rug right now, right? We're trying to push that under the rug.
That's the fourth curse we have to break, Carlos.
That's
We
the
had
fourth
talked about
curse we have to
three,
break.
but that's the
Yes.
fourth one. Yeah.
So hopefully
We're gonna break this
we break
curse.
it
I
this
agree.
time.
Don't invoke it, Carlos. Don't invoke it.
Knock on wood. So I'm gonna go with a 2-1. I'm gonna go with a 2-1. I think Chivas just gets lucky, or VAR helps them out or something. But
Chivas.
it's gonna be 2-1, and we're gonna be pretty confident. I think we're gonna close it out by the half. It'll be 2-0 at the half, and we'll have to make some substitutions to get ready for Santos.
Mm.
Okay. Carlos says 2-1. Vado is coming back, just gonna have some connectivity issues while he's loading. Josue Louis said, "Well done, Louis, with the new song."
Thanks, Josue.
He
I aim
enjoyed
to
it.
please.
And then he also said 1-0. Okay, Leon, but I wish 3-1, Leon. So I guess he's gonna go a little bit more conservative this week.
Yeah.
Let's bring Vado back. Can you hear us?
Can you guys hear me? I was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, there you go, right? Okay.
I don't care.
We thought you were trolling and didn't want to answer.
Yeah, we were like, oh, he left.
No, I was trying to yell at Danny because he's a Chivas fan. He's picking us to lose. I was like, what are you doing, man?
Yeah, I was all confused. I was like, what's going on? I thought he was. Never
Dude
mind.
is Danny is he's going through it, okay?
He's
Leave
being
him alone.
realistic.
I mean,
Do you
Louis
agree?
wanted
That's cool. I
to
wish I
realistic
could do
Chivas
that.
fans on
I
the
mean,
podcast, right?
I respect that. That's hard. That's hard to pick your team to lose. That's a tough one.
This is I don't know, for some reason, we've had luck against y'all at home, I think, right? Recently.
Yeah.
We had that 1-1 draw, I think, that 0-0, the 2-0, I think. Out of 3-1 Chivas. It's gonna be our breakout game. Antuna gets one, Vega gets one, and I even think my boy Chelo Saldívar will get one.
Damn.
Wait, did you say 3-1?
I think Vucetich will
Yeah,
figure out how to use him. Yeah, 3-1 Chivas.
Okay.
Told you, I pick with my heart, not my brain.
Oh.
We have that in common.
We have that in common. I think I'm gonna flip it on you, Vado. I'm gonna say
Oh,
on
I knew
3-1.
But I
I'm
knew.
gonna say
Right.
3-1. I kind of was gonna say,
And I knew that you were probably
I
going to say
don't know.
3-0.
What were you gonna say?
No,
Oh, no.
I felt like Kari was going to be like
I'm
3-0.
just saying, like, based off what I
No, go, Vado. Be back.
Oh.
like based off what I saw in the Santos game, if it wasn't for Acevedo, we would have won that game. I think we had 6 shots on target. Acevedo blocked 6 shots. We created the opportunities. Obviously, we didn't look like a great team all 90 minutes, but the opportunities were there. So I think Chivas can build on that, and I think that's why we'll pull out the shock win at
Acevedo
home
had a good game.
on Wednesday night.
Had a lot of
He's still not
tajadas.
it for me though. Like I don't think he's a starting national team goalie for me. I don't.
No, me
that's
either,
Another topic,
pero-
I guess, but
I saw
think
that game,
he's on the
Still,
right
bro.
track.
and I thought he did good. Como que sí lo quieren
he's gonna be
subir
another
mucho.
De Gea.
I agree with that. With
Maybe
that.
another
Like,
De Gea.
he's getting
where
a
he
big
makes
push.
like flashy stats, but
Mhm.
yeah.
I think he's on the right track,
Yeah, I
and I
think-
do agree with that. What you said, Vado.
But he had a good game against Chivas. I
Yeah.
agree.
Yeah, he's the reason we didn't win. So I think we come back off that performance. I hope Vucetich can tell the team, build off that performance they had. We created 6 opportunities. Obviously, none of them went in. So Wednesday night, I think Chivas gets them together, and we finally start looking like a real team.
And I just want to say something about Chivas and Vucetich. I personally, I want que le vaya bien a Chivas because of Vucetich, because he means a lot to us León fans, pero más para que le calle la boca a Álvaro Morales, because I don't like that guy. I how he disrespects Vucetich and how he's just trying to be like Jose Ramon Fernandez, but being the Chivas hater.
Yeah,
And
Mhm.
to me, that's so annoying. So it's just kind of like, I love it
He's a
cuando le
troll,
calle la
man.
boca. Yeah, that's what he does it for. But yeah, the fact that he talks about Vucetich in the way he does, I'm like, man, it's one of those things, man. So I just want him to do a good job, but just don't beat León. Do a good job, but don't beat us. You know what I mean? Que le vaya bien, pero que no los ganen este.
Yeah, that guy rebranded his whole career to hate
Literally.
Chivas. Like,
Yeah.
He was like a Cruz Azul fan before, I think, right?
Yeah.
Like, what are you
He's,
doing?
like, he's from Guatemala, and he likes, yeah. So,
Yeah.
Yeah. No.
Are there any players from Chivas that you guys are worried about? Like, besides Alexis Vega?
I mean, they're not really on form right now.
I would say
Vega,
Fernando
yeah, I think
Beltran
Vega.
plays. I think he's one to look out for.
I think
I
Alex
really
got
like
one.
him.
Yeah, I have one.
Who you
I have
got?
one. El poderoso goleador Jesus Godinez, who
I
has
knew
come
you were
in
gonna
as a
say
sub.
that.
He has come in. He's
I
come
knew
in
he was
as a
gonna say
sub, and he scored for you guys. So I'm like, he better not aplicar la ley del ex. So
Hey, bro, pero
I don't think you gotta
yeah,
be
you're
worried
right.
about that one.
You're right. You're right, Carlos, because, salió campeón acá con Papá León, so he has that magic. He might score. He might score. He might just score.
Oh,
Sometimes
man.
I wonder how it goes in his head.
How do you
You don't want to know.
He's a champion with Chivas too.
was he?
One of those players,
He
right?
was, I
Mhm.
believe.
I think he's part of the
This one.
CONCACAF
This one.
Champions League team.
Este tiene
One of
Guardianes 2020 magic, bro.
International trophy
So-
god, man.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's cool. That's cool.
That is
Props.
yeah.
Yeah.
I really
Can't
hope
say
he
nothing
doesn't
back.
score. Se puso rayitos, right? He looks like a whole new other Chiva player. Like,
guys,
I mean, look, if he's happy, then
Yeah.
he's happy. Back. He's happy, not you, Varo, but he's happy. He's happy being back. And so okay. Senaku also said, he said, I want to go with a tie. 2-2.
Hi. No,
hi,
come
come
on.
on.
Hey, I give him props.
¿Qué pasó, Senaku?
No, that's an analytical prediction. That's perfectly fine. Yeah.
I mean, games are tough when we face each other. So
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'll never
Doble
forget
jornada.
you
It's a
guys
doble
broke
jornada.
our.
It's a weird night.
It's true with Chivas. You guys, I remember
That's
you guys
true.
beat us when we were about to break the record of
we're
13
not talking
consecutive
about
wins.
that. We don't bring that up, Javi.
Yeah, don't
I know, but I'm just
Mhm.
saying.
We don't talk about
Chivas does
that.
have this. They do have this energy, and you know what? At the same time, es lo mejor que le puede. I want these games, Chivas León, que sean siempre partidazos. Porque that used to be a clásico back in the day before Televisa bought America 1959. That was el clásico. So I'm always gonna want these games to be epic. So hopefully one day, because let's be honest, Irapuato's not gonna come back, and León really needs to build on the clásico.
Oh, well.
Something about here in León, there's a lot of people from Jalisco, and I just like the el color, no, and just todos los taqueros aquí, la gran mayoría son de Jalisco. We have a lot of taquerías estilos Jalisco. It's just a bunch of people that are just from there. And el color aquí en la ciudad, it's amazing. Like, you're in downtown and everybody has their Chivas and León, and it's the one game that you can tell that people do breathe differently. Maybe because of the historical content, but yeah, I just want it to be a partidazo at the end of the day.
Awesome.
I mean, bro, you saw that video that you uploaded when they were trolling with the
Yeah,
Chivas jersey?
well, that's in San Juan de Dios, and every time they play against a team, they have that shirt on. But they've been having this Chivas shirt since 2 weeks ago. I'm telling you, like, los preparamos hace 2 semanas. We know this game is coming, and we're already trolling because they didn't do that for Mazatlan. And usually they would have like a Mazatlan jersey out there that you can step on, but they didn't have. They just had the Chivas one. And everybody hace lo que yo hice. Yo voy por mis quesadillas. I see it's open. I just enter the store, la piso, and I go back to my house.
Oh my God! Why this is so disrespectful?
No, that's what we do over here. We do with everybody that plays us, el quien sea. But with Chivas is different. We do it 2 weeks in anticipation. That's what I'm saying. It's crazier. It's a bigger. It's the talk of the city, or a lot of the times when these two play. And I can't say the same with any other team. I just think that's a very special game in this city.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I hope it will be another game. So we're gonna go ahead and take off. Thank you for everybody that joined us via Facebook, YouTube, and Periscope. Shout out to Sanaku and Josue for always joining the conversation. Dude is Sandy supporting Vado as a Chiva Hermano, adding to our pod. Anybody else? Oh, just Javi at the beginning. But yeah, thank you everybody who joined us, and it was very interactive throughout the whole show. Louis does have a new prediction time video, so make sure you guys watch that in the next episode. Don't forget to follow us on all Facebook, YouTube, and subscribe, like, share. Let us know what you think. I want to give a thanks to Vado for coming on the show. Vado, thank you so much.
Thanks, Vado.
Yeah,
Thank you, sir, for coming on.
Invite.
You can't see me, but te estoy saludando, bro.
You can see.
Me too.
Yeah.
I don't know. You just say
we're giving each other
step on
fist
the- I don't
bumps.
know what kind of salute you're giving me.
I'm giving you like a fist bump, like a
So you
cool
step-
fist
you
bump.
step
No,
on the
it's a
Chivas-
cool.
You step on the Chivas jersey.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know, man.
I know, man. I understand.
Nah,
But I would understand if you stepped to una de León. I would understand because somos rivales, no enemigos.
Nah,
People wonder,
I
would
only
understand that.
disrespect America and Atlas.
And I appreciate that, bro, because I do too, America. That's the one team that I've been targeted as being a Americanista. I am anti-Americanista. My tío is anti-Americanista. My whole lineage is anti-Americanista. My grandpa, he's the biggest one. He's 89. And he still says, mijo, que del América. And I'm like, sí, abuelito, está bien. I'm like,
Tradition.
you know,
It's a tradition.
yeah.
The theme
I just
of
tell
the
him, sí,
podcast
abuelito.
wasn't even-
And on that note,
On that note, shout out to Chivas del
Sorry,
Norte
guys.
Battle, everybody, all your co-hosts and hosts. Give them a saludo from our part, no hard feelings. Thank you guys for doing a great work at always including the community, especially all the Chivas hermanos in the community. When you guys pod and just keeping it very interactive.
Can I tell Vado something?
Yeah, go ahead.
Sorry, I interrupted. I'm so sorry. I interrupted. Just one thing to be clear, Vado. When I was little, though, I admired Ramon Ramirez. I really did. And I even bought a shirt, el número 7. So when Kari was saying that he appreciates, I agree. Like, I grew up admiring Ramon Ramirez and Cuauhtémoc Blanco because I thought these guys were just how you were supposed to play the game, you know. And plus, in León, we had Misael Espinosa. I always said, I want to be Misael Espinosa. I want to be, you know. But let's be real, man. La actitud de Cuauhtémoc and the way Ramon Ramirez, even Ramon Morales, there's been a lot of players that I've just admired because I do see the sport a little different. I'm like Kari's, yo sangro Esmeralda, right? But I've always heard one thing, so and that's because yo soy hincha de la jugada. Yo soy fan del. If someone scores a goal and it's against me, I just applaud, even if it's against me, because I think that's beautiful. I see the sport as an art, you know, not as a fanatic sometimes. But yeah, I just wanted to say that about Chivas. That don't think I I have that respect because of Ramon Ramirez, man. That guy was just I played like him. I wanted to be him. You know what I mean? So people who are listening to the podcast, que son Chivas hermanos, never forget that guy. Never forget Ramon Ramirez. He's like a forgotten idol.
And then he stabbed us in the back and went to America, but okay.
Yeah. No, but he didn't want to go to America. That was different.
I know.
Yeah. Okay, I was gonna say, hopefully you know the story because he didn't want to. He went crying.
No,
Back then, you know.
Yeah.
Back then, it was impossible for players to actually make a decision. Like it was like, como dijo Menotti, y Bielsa. They've criticized so much el mercado mexicano because they really do treat these players like they're, you know, los venden. They don't even tell them where they're gonna go. You know, the whole draft thing, it only happens in Mexico. El Pacto de Caballeros only happens in Mexico.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Let's wrap this up, guys. Let's wrap this up.
I just want to say I think it's funny because we can't see their faces, but they're both interacting with each other, and it's just funny.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah.
Vado, thank you guys.
We're
You guys
continuing the
are-
conversation in our mind.
Yes, if you guys are interested in following everything, Chivas, make sure to follow Chivas del Norte on all social medias that they always post a weekly podcast. Once again, thank you for joining us. Arriba León, and
Viva la fiera.
yes, and we'll see
Hola,
you in
León.
another episode.
All right. Peace.